In the name of Allah, the entirely merciful, the especially merciful, may peace, mercy, and blessings of Allah the Almighty be upon all of you. I am Umar ibn Abid, and this is lecture 2, the natural sound source of language. In the last lecture, we looked at the divine source of language. So, let's start. So, the basic idea behind the natural sound source of language is that humans must have observed some living creatures, for example, like birds and like animals, and all of these creatures produce some sounds. Similarly, humans must have heard the sounds of natural sources and natural sound vibrations, like for example waterfall, and you can say floods, similarly storms and such incidents, and everything, even sometimes air has sounds as well. So this is the basic idea, that from these resources humans started speaking language, and this is what I have discussed here. And one of these things include as well, for example, sounds like ouch, oh, wow, yuck, and for example which are called the sudden expressions. These could also be the resources or for the origins of language. So if you want to read these, you may stop video a little bit, and then you could read these as well, because it will take time if I read all of these. So one of these theories is called Bowwow Theory, and the basic purpose and the basic idea behind this Bowwow Theory is that human have heard sounds like birds and animals, different creatures, and for example when they heard a sounds like cuckoo or caw, so they tried to imitate these sounds, and they give names to those birds or to those animals similar to their sounds. For example, caw, and they give name crow, let's suppose, and when they heard cuckoo uh, from a bird, so they gave the bird the name of cuckoo. And these sounds which have similar words, for example, you can see that cuckoo, the sound is same, the word is same. Caw and crow, a little bit different, but crow is a little bit similar to caw. So some such sounds which has similar words are called onomatopic or onomatopic words, words that sound similar to the noises they describe. For example, splash is always used for water or for soda, and buzz, similarly boom, is always used for explosion. Rattle, you must have heard the sound of rattlesnake, so it is just like rattle. Similarly, meow meow, uh, we use for cats. So these words are called onomatopic words because these words have similar noises, and based on these noises we have produced words which are just like their original sounds. And in a language there are words which are similar to their natural sounds, but the problem with this Bowwow theory is that there are only a few words which are onomatopic in every language. Most of our words are not onomatopic words. And the other theory, you may could say that the inhalation and exhalation during speech is also different from these sounds. Most of our speech is in exhaled form. We get out air from our mouths when we speak. So this theory has not, you can say, solid reasons or solid facts to support itself. The other theory is called Poohpooh Theory, and this theory claims that sounds of pain, pleasure, surprise, these could be the resources, these could be the sources of origins of language. For example, wow, ouch, o, a, boo, r. And for example, if you produce these sounds uh, and put your hand in front of your mouth, so you will observe that while speaking these sounds, you are inhaling and you are taking sudden breaths, you are taking sudden intakes of breath, and most of our speech is in exhaled form, as I have told you earlier. And for example, if you speak, what is your name, what is your name, if you speak this and put your hand in front of your mouth, so you will observe that you are exhaling a lot of air. On the other hand, if you produce the sound, for example, if you say wow, ouch, oh, ah, and then put your hand in front of your mouth, so you will observe that no or very or a little bit air is exhaling. So these sources and so these evidences also inform us that Poohpooh theory is also not valid, and it is also it could also not be the source of origins of language. It has no scientific reasons or facts. The other theory is called Dingdong Theory, and very funny names, Dingdong Theory. So, and this is a little bit similar to Poohpooh Theory, and it states that human language has been originated from sounds of vibrating natural sources, as I have told you in first slide. And these resources may include, for example, waterfall, cutting woods also have sound, floods, storms, rain also have sounds. And when human heard these sounds, they tried to imitate these sounds, and then from these sounds they started to speaking words, and then a language was came and a language was originated. So it was all that which is behind the Ding Dong theory. However, even this theory is just a myth because there are no physical evidence. Then Tata theory, and if, for example, if you are waving your hand, Tata, goodbye. So this theory claimed that human produce sound with different movements of tongues and mouths. As I have given you the example of Tata, goodbye, we wave our hands. So there are no doubt there are some words in our language in which we both use our mouth as well as our face gestures, but most of the words in our language does not require mouth gestures. Even if you are reading a book, so all of the book you have to understand without any gestures. If there are not any pictures, so you must have to understand this book without gestures. So we cannot say that many of our words or are in gestures, or many of our words require gestures and mouths at the same time to understand. We could understand even without gestures. So this theory also fails. Then Lala theory, and this theory is also similar to what Darwin says, that human speech was originated with music, or humans started communicating with each other with the help of music, as I have told you in the first lecture. So for example, what this theory claimed, that inspired playfulness, love, poetic sensibility and songs could be the source of origin of language. So these are different theories, but none of them is validate, none of them is applicable, or we could say it is the right or it could be the source of origin of language. But if we observe all these theories, we can conclude one thing, that all of these sources could be combinedly have helped human to learn language. Not any of these solely could be used as the source of origin of language, yes, but all of these combinedly, for example, something was produced with the Poohpooh theory, something was produced with the help of words, and something was produced with the help of some tools, etc. So this is all about the natural sound source of language, and the next lecture will be about the social interaction source. So I hope you would have understood this lecture. Don't forget to give your feedback. I know these initial lectures will be boring for some persons, so but what we do, we have to do it. And jazakallahu khairan, and thank you.